Now then, folks, how you doing? It's James, JT at the movies. A very happy new year to you. I hope that you're all well rested and have had a lovely festive season if you've been celebrating. January 2023 is upon us, eh? Can you believe it? I don't know where 2022 went like that for me. But it brings us to my latest update of pickups and things that have been bought as gifts for me and things that I've bought with bits of Christmas money. So I'm going to show you my December, and I'm going to be truthful because I like to be transparent with you on this channel, my very early January pickups as well, things that I've bought with bits of Christmas money that I've had. I've not got round to making this video because it had been a very busy Christmas period for us, and yeah, I forgot to basically separate my stacks, and I can't remember what came when. So I'm going to show you what I've picked up over Christmas in December, and like I say, in the first couple of days of January, and then January's update will be everything picked up from basically as of the day I'm filming this video, which is I think the 8th, is it the 9th? It's, like I say, it's early January. So we'll start, as always, with the DVDs, and we'll start with one that I picked up with a bit of Christmas money that my lovely granny gave me. And I had a good time with this one. I wasn't expecting much from it. I'd heard very sort of mixed reviews, and yeah, I'd sort of not really, sure what to expect of it, but went into it, and I had a good time with it. And that is Don't Worry Darling. Now, the criticisms that Harry Styles is not up to much in it, I'd say that they're fair, but then again, he's sharing the screen with Florence Pugh, who's absolutely fantastic, and Chris Pine as well, who's an absolutely solid actor. So it's probably just the case for him where he's absolutely doing his best, but he's just around, sort of acting royalty almost. The next one is one that I've not seen. My cousin recommended that I pick this up, and my sister wholeheartedly agreed with her. So at some point when I'm feeling sort of in the mood for a musical, I will watch The Greatest Showman. I picked this one up in a charity shop between Christmas and New Year when me and Laura were looking to pick up a second-hand dining table. The one that we've got, sort of, it's a nice little table, but it doesn't really do for what we need. And we found that out no more so than when we were hosting a Christmas dinner, and trying to squeeze everybody around our table was fun. Anyway, we were looking for a second-hand table to put us on, and didn't find the table, but found this DVD Alive. I've not seen this one before, I've not heard of it, but the synopsis grabbed me. It's about a plane crash and people sort of leaving the plane crash behind to go and basically get help for the remainder of the survivors. So the next one I'm going to show you is again one I've not watched, but I picked it up with some Christmas money. I'll be watching this one, I should think, one night this week, to be fair. I've watched most of the stack that I'm going to show you, but I haven't got round to this one yet, and that is Where the Crawdads Sing. And then the next one was one that I saw on my good mate Mike Woods, who you'll probably better know as Cinema Axeman, on his latest update. He saw this, and I'm a really big fan of Sidney Poitier, and loving The Heat of the Night and So With Love, and absolutely, I'd never heard of this film, surprisingly, but was like, I need to check that out straight away. So I ordered it, again with some Christmas money, and it rocked up, and I thoroughly enjoyed Deadly Pursuit. I actually watched this one just over the New Year weekend, the New Year weekend, the weekend, you know what I mean, the first weekend in January, and had a really good time with it. This next one was one that I also really enjoyed. I saw the trailer for this when we went to the cinema to see something else, and I had no idea that it was coming out, but I remember the story of this film that it's based on happening in real life, and sort of finding it, sort of mildly interesting enough to read a couple of articles about it at the time, but then saw the trailer and saw the cast, Sally Hawkins and Steve Coogan in The Lost King, and this is a dramatisation of the discovery of King Richard III's remains in a Leicester car park. And then there's the story sort of fabricated with the lady played by Sally Hawkins, who's the one who makes the discovery, so this film takes it. Basically she has visions of Richard III coming to her and sort of pointing her in the right direction, and she's sounding off of him, and she's going through this divorce with the Steve Coogan character, and her job's going nowhere, and it's sort of almost a bit sort of like she's having like a midlife crisis or a bit of a mental break, and then she starts sort of becoming really impassioned by the story of Richard III and starts seeing him, and then there's a bit of back and forth with sort of like the University of Leicester initially don't want to help her, and then when they realise there's actually maybe a bit of notoriety and maybe some money to be gained from it, they're all into it, and there's a bit of a sort of a bureaucracy battle there, and I'd say it's a dramedy, but I'd say it's well worth checking out. I had a good time with it, really easy watching. The next one was one that I also enjoyed as well, but a complete change of tone, and that is Smile. And it really kind of reminded me a little bit of It Follows. It had a bit of a similar vibe. I liked the film. I found it to be, you know, sort of reasonably creepy, and I had a good time with it. Towards the end of the film, the third act, I thought maybe it fell apart a little bit, was a little bit ropey for me, but that's not to say that they didn't do a good job with it and that it wasn't a good film. It was just, like I say, maybe just didn't quite go the way I wanted it to go at the end. This next one is basically, instead of 47 metres down, it's 47 metres up, isn't it? Or, you know, whatever it is. It's more or less cut and paste the story of the first 47 metres film. And then they put it on a TV antenna instead. And that is Fall. So I had a really good time with this one. And it was sort of really sort of like nerve-shredding watching them up the tower, and the sort of the fear of heights, and the fact that they used practical effects when they made the film as well, made it all feel quite real. I did call where the film was going to go quite, and I found it, like I say, quite predictable, and really just a carbon copy of the 47 metres down concept, but like I say, stuck at great heights instead of great depths, but enjoyable none the same. And yeah, absolutely worth checking out if you haven't already seen it. The next one is one that is for a movie marathon that me and Laura are intending to do at some point in the not too distant future, where we're going to watch as a central focus point the collaborations between Alfred Hitchcock and James Stewart, and then we're going to bookend that with some sort of films, you know, that are absolute pillars of their careers. This was the only one that I didn't have in the collection between the two gents, the collaboration, and it is The Man Who Knew Too Much. Now, I didn't know that Hitchcock had already made a film back in the 30s with the same title, but apparently this isn't a remake and really bears no resemblance to it. Because I got really excited when I thought I'd come across it in HMV, but it was the Peter Lorre version, which is the film of the same title, but apparently has sort of little to no relevance or bearing on the plot. The next one's one that I've not watched yet, but it's one that was suggested to me when I was actually checking out on Amazon Deadly Pursuit, you know, when it comes up and goes, because you liked this, you might like this sort of thing. And it recommended this to me. Now, I will watch anything with Gene Hackman in, and didn't have this in the collection, so I'm looking forward to watching very soon Narrow Margin. And then I've got a singular DVD and a box set DVD to show you before I show you 3 Blu-rays that I picked up, and then some other little goodies that I got for Christmas as well. Hopefully, if I've done it right, you might notice that this video is a little bit better lit than perhaps my videos normally are. My sister got me a ring light for Christmas. And I'm using it as sort of at the moment, I'm using it as a bit of an overhead light to sort of, you know, give a better focus of light on the screen, and hopefully it's working. I had it directly in front of me, as you see a lot of presenters and a lot of YouTubers do, but it was just reflecting off my glasses, and it just looked like I had big white rings around them. So I've got it sort of up and at an angle, so you might see it every now and then sort of there you go, reflecting off the old specs, but I think it's giving a warmer light than this room would normally give with just the hanging lampshade. Anyway, back to the last singular DVD. I'm looking forward to checking this one out. I've enjoyed rest of the universe that he's built up, in particular the Jay and Silent Bob movies. So we'll see whether this one holds up as well, and that is Clerks 3. I was actually surprised that this one got a UK release. I don't know why. I just kind of had a feeling that we wouldn't see this one, and I'd be importing it if I were ever going to watch it. Speaking of which, I watched Barbarian over Christmas on Disney Plus, and I'm absolutely gutted to learn that that's not getting a physical release, because that's been my favourite horror of 2022, is that. But anyway, the last DVD to show you is one that I've been after for a while, and for whatever reason was one that I wouldn't pull the trigger on myself, though I've wanted it in the collection. And then Laura was saying, well, what do you want for Christmas? I've not really any idea what to get you this year. And I said, oh, do you know what? I right fancy this. And so she very kindly got me this DVD box set. And that is the complete Adam West Batman 66 series with Adam West, Burt Ward, Cesar Romero, Yvonne Craig, Burgess Meredith, Frank Gorshin. et al. And it's I'm sure going to be an absolutely fantastic box set. I've yet to open it. I've seen all this before. I grew up on this stuff. My dad was a huge fan of that show back when he was a boy in the actual 60s and 70s, and when they started doing the reruns in the late 90s and the early 2000s on UK Gold. Why do I remember that? But I do. When they started doing the reruns, he used to tape them for me, and we used to watch them. And so I've seen them all, and I love the movie that they did. Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb, old chum. So I'm looking forward to delving back into that. Since that box set came out, it's been one, like I say, that I've been sort of almost but not pulled the trigger on. So I think what I'll do now, actually, I'll show you the Blu-rays, and then I'll show you. I've got a piece of movie memorabilia to show you that Laura also got me, and then I've got some pop figures that I got for Christmas. A couple from Laura and one from my cousin Charlotte. So the only standard, if you want to call it that, Blu-ray that I got is a box set, or a compilation set at least, that I imported from America. So this one, I got a voucher from work from my boss as a thank you for hard work this year and all my efforts, which was lovely. So I got an Amazon voucher and decided that I would put it towards this because it had some episodes of the show that I wanted to see that I'd not seen since I was a kid. Yes, I'm a big kid, and it is the complete Scooby-Doo Where Are You Blu-ray box set. So the reason I got this is because it contains season 3, which has the episodes for anybody who's a Scooby aficionado like me. I'm sure there's plenty of us out there, but for anyone who's a Scooby aficionado, it's got the later episodes that were broadcast as the Scooby-Doo show, which aren't available on DVD here, apart from the odd one that's been included on extra box sets or compilation things and the like. And so I thought, well, I know it'll play because it's a Warner Brothers Blu-ray, so they're region free. So I decided I'd put my voucher to that, and we watched it through the week last week on an evening when we were having tea and stuff, and I had a great time reliving my childhood and going through that. The next one's one that I have really no idea about, and I've yet to watch it. It's a reissue for the 60th anniversary, and it was really the cast, or the lead actor, which is Anthony Perkins, and the fact that it was directed by Orson Welles that sold me on it. And I'm a sucker for anything sort of like legal drama related, which I'm assuming it's going to be with the title of The Trial. But this is the Studio Canal re-release that's come out, so I'm looking forward to watching that. And then the last one I picked up, again with some Christmas money from my grandma, was a Criterion, and I believe it's a film that has only been made in the last year, 18 months or so. And it's a story about Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown and Sam Cooke, and it's one night in Miami. So really it was the cast of characters that the actors are playing, and basically sort of the historical value of it that was sort of piqued my interest, if you like. So I know really nothing about it, and whether it's a true story or a fictional story with with those historical figures in or what, but I'm going to look forward to watching it fairly soon. So that's it for the physical media and everything I picked up. In fact, actually, no, I'm telling a lie. I am telling a lie, but I can't get it because it's all the way up there, and it's put away for the year. Laura bought me Elf on 4K for Christmas. And gave me it as an early Christmas present. And we watched that on Christmas Eve, and I had an absolutely brilliant time for it. In fact, I think I might have already mentioned this in my top 10 Christmas movies video. I definitely did, because I showed the 4K. But there you go, I also got that. So on to the Funko Pops and the memorabilia. I'm going to show you the Pops first, and then save the bit of memorabilia until last, because I think it's really cool, and a really special little treat that Laura's got me there for Christmas. So the first one is one that my cousin Charlotte got me. Thank you very much, Charlie. Absolutely love it. We were actually out doing a bit of shopping together for Christmas, and she's like, I don't know what to get you. And then we were in a shop looking for something actually for my missus. And I said, oh, that's really cool. And she goes, well, do you want it? I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll have that. And so I ended up getting, oh God, I'm nearly dropping it here. I'll leave it in. But I ended up getting the Hannibal Lecter pop figure from Silence of the Lambs. So really chuffed to have that. And then the next one that I've got to show you is, I'm nearly knocking the memorabilia on the floor there. The next one is one from Laura. My favourite Pixar film is WALL-E, so she got me a WALL-E pop figure. We're on the hunt for an Eve one, but apparently they're seemingly hard to get a hold of, and going for 30-40 quid on eBay, which I'm not sure I'm prepared to spend that level of brass on it, but we'll see what happens. And if I come across one in the wild somewhere or at a comic convention or whatever, then I'll absolutely pick it up. But yeah, I love that film, and of course I've got it on DVD, or is it Blu-ray? I can't remember what we've got it on, but I know we've got it in and amongst all this lot anyway. And then the next one, Laura got to go with the Batman box set that she bought me. I don't think it's strictly speaking Adam West. I think it's you know, sort of the golden, is it golden era? This, but it's Batman from the comics, and obviously it's the look that Adam West is sort of based on. But I really like this with the comic background, and you can hear that it's in a proper plastic casing as well as the Funko Pop thing. And I don't think, not that I want to take him out of there, but I don't think that Batman comes out of there, and I think it's a display piece as is. So I'm very happy to have that. So the last thing I want to show you really is probably the coolest thing to show you on this little update. It's what Laura got me for Christmas, one of my Christmas presents, and it's from a company called, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, The Movie Reliquary. I'll show you the box there, and it's a cool little display box that it comes with. And so we open it up, and inside, let me just take it out and do this very, very delicately. We have this here, which is a piece of the prosthetic that Tommy Lee Jones wore on his face when he played Two-Face in Batman Forever. And so obviously Warner Brothers has had these stashed somewhere, and somebody's got a hold of it, and it comes with a signature of authenticity on the back, and sort of comes with the pedigree. But like, this is probably only a centimetre squared, if that, piece of the prosthetic, and it looks appropriately aged. You know, looks nearly 30 years old by the look of it. It's quite dried out. But how cool is that? I absolutely adore Batman Forever. I am a Batman Forever apologist, and will be until the day that I die. I think it gets a bum deal getting lumped in with Batman and Robin, which is obviously an absolute train wreck. Now, don't get me wrong, Batman Forever has its flaws. Of course it has its flaws, but I think on the whole, I think it's a fairly good sequel, a pretty good sequel, and I think it balances the tone between Batman Returns, which is probably the best one of the Burton Schumacher era, to be fair. It's not my favourite, like I say, Batman Forever is my favourite, but Batman Returns is the objective best. I think it balances the tone of the first two and the animated series, and even brings in flavour of the Adam West series and the sort of the more campier origins of the character as well. I think it balances it all sort of fairly well, and for my money it worked, and I still come back to that film regular. But yeah, what an absolutely fantastic gift there from Laura, and I'm incredibly grateful. So there we are, folks. That's been my update, my DVD, my Blu-ray, my pop figure and movie memorabilia update for December 2022, the last update of December. Again, apologies that it's been a little bit quiet on the channel. Obviously, we've had a lot of things going on with the band, with the This Too Shall Pass album launching for Leaving Overmorrow, my band, and we're over the moon with how that's been received. We actually managed to get it to #1 in the singer-songwriter charts on iTunes. Absolutely over the moon with that accomplishment, and we're looking forward to taking it on a small UK tour in the spring. So we've been very busy, and unfortunately it's not left me with a lot of time to make these vlogs. But thank you so much to all my regular viewers and everyone that's subscribed for sticking with the channel. I really appreciate it. Please leave me some comments down below with your thoughts on what I've picked up here and what I've been gifted over the Christmas period. I'd really love to, as always, know your opinions. If you've enjoyed the video, drop it a thumbs up. It lets me and YouTube know that you want to see more videos like this. And if you are new to the video and this is the first time you're finding me, hello and nice to meet you. I really would like to keep you around for future videos if you've enjoyed this one, so please hit that subscribe button, and that way we can do just that, and I can get to know you better over future videos. Above all else, folks, as I said at the start of the video, Happy New Year to you all. I hope you have a healthy and happy 2023, and hopefully we'll see lots more of each other. But take care for now, folks, and bye-bye.